3 underage students, brutally tortured, a girl they had kidnapped. Everyone thought they would face punishment when the girl, who had been tortured, chose to jump to her death. The outcome of the case, however, was enraging. The 3 were protected by juvenile laws. Due to their age, Riku, the mastermind, was sentenced to only 3 years. The other 2 were released after a verbal warning. 3 years later, Riku was released from prison. He sought out the officer who handled the case, and arrogantly declared he had no remorse. He had been released early as a model prisoner, and now, he had shed his disguise. Kenmochi could not understand how the law had protected the perpetrators, while the victims were left unprotected. Could it all be forgotten once they turned 18? That evening, Riku was shot on his way home, with a bullet piercing his ear. A handgun was found at the scene, one that belonged to Kenmochi. Riku immediately assumed this was Kenmochi's revenge. He even contacted his old accomplice, Yohei, warning him about the murderous cop. But it was too late. Riku was trapped in a bathtub, watching as the water rose, suffocating in despair. When the police arrived, Kendaichi was there to investigate. He noticed the victim's sister at the scene. With a strange smile on her lips, she calmly said, this way of dying was exactly how her sister had suffered. The investigation revealed that, the day before, Yohei had visited the victim's family with the defense lawyer from the trial, seeking forgiveness, but they showed no remorse, still living a life of luxury. The coroner estimated Yohei's time of death to be between 6 and 8 a.m. Riku's call had been made at 7 a.m., meaning the murderer was likely in the act of killing while on the phone. Among the 3, 1 survived a shooting attempt, 1 drowned, and the target was clearly total retribution. Kendaichi immediately found the last person, Tamaki, and warned him to stay alert. But Tamaki didn't take it seriously. He was a rich kid. His father was the director of a hospital. He had bodyguards and a chauffeur. The investigation continued. Her fiancé said that they had been planning to get married, but suddenly received an email breaking off the engagement. After that, Shama went missing, and when she was found again, she was already dead. The case file was reopened. Kendaichi was shocked to discover that the 3 had detailed records of their abuse. The lawyer had used their juvenile status and argued that the suicide was not a direct murder to successfully get them acquitted. Meanwhile, Riku, who was in the hospital, received a threatening text, which only said one thing: no matter where you run, you will be executed. Soon after, Tamaki was caught in an explosion on his way home from school. The car was set ablaze by gasoline, instantly consuming his life. The method of death was identical to the burning at the stake from years ago. A remote control was found at the scene, with fingerprints that perfectly matched Kenmochi's. All the evidence was gradually pointing to Kenmochi. Just as the police were preparing to reveal Kenmochi's identity, Riku, who had escaped the hospital, called for help. He said he was being chased, and the man after him was wearing a hat, sunglasses, and a mask. During the call, every 6 seconds, the sound of metal hitting something could be heard. Kendaichi immediately recognized it as the sound of a baseball being hit. After locating him, the police rushed to a baseball training center. On the 5th floor, they found a room that had been sealed off. When they broke in, Riku was already hanging. In the midst of his final hanging,